Hey guys, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to be sewing the waistband to the zipper, and this is how it's going to look. And you make sure that you're holding everything tightly together, everything is in the right spot, and you'll just swiftly turn it around. And then again, you're making sure that you match your waistband up to the fabric, the actual fabric of the skirt. Right sides together. And in this part, I'm sewing 3/8 of an inch. And again, I was just making sure that the waistband matches up to the other piece of the skirt at the end of it. And I'm just sewing. And I'm just showing you from a different angle how it looks when you're sewing, attaching the waistband to your garment, which in this case is a skirt, and this is the ending right now. And you'll see I did a back stitch, and I'm just demonstrating here that when I sew it, I have to make sure I'm above the plastic part that you see there. And I'm just going to be sewing along that end. So you have to make sure that you do not touch the plastic part, also break that needle. And that's how it looks once it's done. So this is just the other side of it, and I'm just demonstrating how, again, to you guys, how you would attach the waistband to the zipper and making sure that everything is enclosed. So there's no like raw edges out. Everything just looks put together. So you'll see here now, I'm showing you what happens when you put it inside out, and that's how it should look. And in this part, I did use a pin to pull out the corners so it's nice and pointy. And yes, I had to snip off the corners so it's not bulky when I turn it back over again. And again, you'll take the pin again, and you'll just make sure that it's pointy. And you see that's how it usually look. So again, you put it inside out. That was just to show you how it looked once I did the edge stitch. And it's basically to help the seams be open, look very neat. And it's just easier to iron. And the seam just falls on one side, as you see there. So I'm making sure that the seam underneath is towards the right, and it's just lying flat, and then you're basically sewing about maybe about a 1 inch away from the seam, and it just gives it a nice clean finish. And over here you just see me, I just kept on checking underneath to make sure that everything was flat underneath. And this is a nice close-up. I really like this close-up here. And practice makes perfect, guys. Like, as you keep on doing this, you'll just get better and better at it. And it's just all about, you know, staying focused and being persistent and pulling it apart. Like, just making sure that you're pulling it away from each other so it's nice and flat, like you see in the screen here. And this was just a different perspective to show you guys like how I'm looking at it, and see how I pull it, and I'm just making sure everything's flat. And you see how I tucked it in. See, it's like you're tucking it underneath. And now in this part, I'm gonna be sorry. I'm gonna be stitching in a ditch. And this is where you, like I showed, you'll be sewing right in the seam. Like literally right into the seam. So what this does is it prevents the waistband that you attach to stop from flopping over. So it's not coming apart. It just keeps everything sticking together and you'll no longer be able to take out the waistband. So now it would be officially in. And you see I'm back stitching here. And just make sure you're not too close to the zipper. Like, don't sew right over the zipper, else you'll have a hard time zipping in. And this is the end product of the skirt. Yeah, and that's how the skirt looks when it's done. And nothing's falling apart, everything's just intact, and you're ready to go.